Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Yeah, I'm back, man. I tell you, I feel like folks in the church when they be like, man, I'm here, but I had to press my way. I had to press my way. Yeah, it's always tough to get to church, you know. I mean, you always got to, people in the church be like, the devil didn't want me to come. So I had to press my way. I had to press it. But nonetheless, I'm here. And I'm happy to be here. It ain't a burden. And I want to talk about some stuff today, which should be pretty entertaining, I will say. Pretty entertaining. But first, I got to make sure that notifications have gone out. And I see that I have one. Also want to make sure that you can hear me. So those that are logging in now, could you please confirm? Could you confirm that you can hear me? Houston, can you hear me? One, two, check one. Okay, all right. So I'm assuming that people can hear me. Hi, Kev, got a notification. That's what I'm talking about. Can't hear you. Hey, all right, dear. All right, that's all I need. Okay, because if that's the case, then let me go ahead and get loose so I can get busy. Yeah. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, there's also Kevin's Corner store in this joint. So if you want to get some merch, you can go right up in that bad boy and shop till you drop. This number on the screen, 330-974-4607, is the number you can text Kevin. Really just text Maga to it. So this way, if they disappear me off the platform, I better turn off my notifications. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't want to get interrupted here. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Yeah, turn that off. And I'm back. Yeah, forgot to do that because I'll be getting interrupted all day. Folks be chiming in, getting telemarketer texts and stuff like that. I don't want that. Now, before we get started, I also want to give a shout out, just in case I forgot, to Mary, who sent me something in the mail. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Yeah. And tell Martha not to moan. Yeah, Mary, thank you so much. God bless you and your family. I pray that you are all blessed. And for all of those that support my channel in many ways, thank you so much. Whether it be time, your kind words. Somebody wrote me a message yesterday and, at the bottom of the video, not during the super chat, but during the regular messages, and was just real appreciative of what I've been doing for all of these years. And, they were saddened by the fact that YouTube refused to allow my channel to flourish like it possibly could. And that sucks to know that you have a gift and somebody's stifling it. And when I say a gift, I'm not saying that with arrogance. I mean, I think that there's so many conservative YouTubers out there that they all have their niche. They all have their gift. And, everybody do it differently. But I do it differently as well. I mean, some people can't do what I do. They're like, man, how do you just get up there and freestyle and do all of that stuff? And I'm like, I have no idea. No idea. The stuff that runs through this head would scare you. It would scare you. And it just comes right off the top of the dome. And I enjoy doing it. And it would be nice if YouTube would allow me to reach other people so that maybe they might enjoy seeing my work. But until then, it is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. And that is why I thank every single one of you guys for all of your support. And whatever way you feel free supporting my channel. Now, with that being said, I also want to let everybody know that you can start off supporting my channel by hitting that like button. And sharing my videos. And I got some lint in the eye. Where's my mama? I need my mama to blow in it. See, remember when you was little and stuff would happen to you and your mama come and psych you out, make you think it's better? Yeah, that stuff didn't work. You sit up there, get a big cut on your hand, and she'd be like, come here, bring it here. Let me kiss it. it feel better, and then you gotta lie to her, knowing it don't feel better. But that mama kiss make you think that it feels better. Get something in your eye, open up your eye, boy. Blow right in that bad boy. Probably putting all kind of stuff in your eye from blowing in it. But that, can you feel better? Do you feel better? Walk away half blind. Yeah, I need my mama to blow in my eye. But anyway, guys, it is Black History Month. I almost forgot because, see, honestly, I don't walk, or especially since I've been doing this and since I've gotten older, I don't walk around leading with my blackness first. Now, I'm aware of my blackness, but because these last several, the decade or so, have been such an emphasis on dividing us and talking about, black, white, this and this and this and that. It becomes white noise after a while, and I focus more so on America. But, it's the same thing when it comes down to, say, holidays. Honestly, so holidays sneak up on me. So if I'm not going to celebrate, or if I miss holidays, most likely, let somebody tell me, yo, it's Black History Month. I'm like, oh, it is? What? I had no idea. I had no idea it was Black History Month. Same thing. Only two holidays I absolutely know is Christmas and New Year's. That's it. The rest of them, I'm like, wait, what? When is Thanksgiving again? I have no idea. So, Black History Month done slipped up on us again. And I do want to say this. I definitely am happy and proud to be black. There's some benefits. That's right. Say it loud. Yeah, I'm black and I'm proud. Some of the music that we dropped down through the years. James Brown came out, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I loved it, man. I got that feeling. Ha. Baby, I got that feeling. Loved it. Stevie Wonder, isn't she lovely? We had some wonderful, wonderful stuff that makes me say, boy, I tell you, that right there makes me proud to be black. And I do love my brown skin. Brown skin. I love my brown skin. Now, when I was a young boy, I didn't. I couldn't appreciate the dark skin. Couldn't appreciate the blackness because I had an older brother. He was high yellow, you know what I'm saying? And he used to clown me because I was dark skinned. But then Wesley Snipes popped up on the scene in Blade and brought blackness back. Girls was like, well, I like you because you nice and dark skinned. Go on, girl. Yeah, I started to appreciate my black skin. And there's some other benefits. I'm not saying that black people are predisposed to rhythm, but I will say it's good to have it built in. That we come with rhythm for the most part. But it is hilarious. When you meet a black person, they can't dance, have no rhythm. I'm like, what do you? That's like meeting a Puerto Rican person that don't know salsa. You know how many Puerto Ricans, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't your people invent this? You don't know how to dance salsa? No, I don't know how to dance salsa. I'm like, good grief, get out of my way. Yeah, so there's some benefits. And especially nowadays, since our culture is hypersensitive over race issues, I don't take advantage of it. But if I wanted to, I'm pretty sure I could get pretty much anything I wanted if I just throw my blackness around. Yes. Sir, you're going to have to put that back on the, the cabinet there. No, I'm not. Well, yes, you are. No, obviously you don't see my skin. You understand that? This is reparations. Okay. I will be taking this TV out of Walmart. Okay. For all the years of the atrocities and stuff. So there are some benefits, but I don't take much of it. I recognize that black people have contributed very much to our country. And I'm proud to be black. And I want black people, I found it, y'all. I found it here. Yeah. I want black people actually to become better. I want them to be able to overcome this past that they have no real connection to, which, of course, is being, flooded into the minds of many minorities to think that since years and years ago, slavery took place and Democrats and all of that stuff was doing that, that now we have to bring that to the present and use that as a crutch. And I will say there's probably been some damage done to the black culture and the black community by sinister people along the way. There are eras and times, even after slavery, when black folks were doing amazing. And then somehow we were duped into, voting for Democrats and, duped into thinking that everybody else was responsible for our problems, and not realizing that the people that was selling that and creating problems were really behind it and pointing at other people and using black folks for votes and using black folks to demonize their political opponents. And it's a shame that many black folks have been hoodwinked. And as proud as I am to be black, I also know that being a black conservative gets you no clout with the black community. See, you got to know what you're talking about as a black conservative. Yeah, you got to have your weapons together. When you run across black folks that many of them, is going to be like, what? You a black conservative? Well, you know what? How you going to be all of that stuff. So because I'm well equipped and I'm a nonsense slayer, I wear it with a badge of honor. Yeah, I like it. I like getting into confrontations when I run into black liberals that are definitely ignorant and want to talk to me about who I support. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to talk about that? See, some people want to shy away from that. But hey, brother, I saw your video, man. I want to talk to you. Yeah, I want to talk to you. See, that's how I am. I'm like, I want to talk to you. See, so it's good. It's good. Life is good. It's being, a black person. But I like to focus more so on life being good for Americans. And that is my real, desire, is to see all Americans be blessed, regardless of what race you are, and I'm not opposed to other folks being proud to be whatever race they are. I grew up in Youngstown. You know how many Italians are in Youngstown? And they have an Italian fest constantly, all the time. And guess what I do? I go right down there celebrating. Going over there getting me some cavatolis and strudels. Yeah, they have the Jewish stuff. I go there, the Latinos. I celebrate with all Americans. But one thing we have in common is we're all Americans. But if you listen to the Democrats, yep, you know what? We're all Americans, but we're standing on stolen land, and the regular cis white man is not really the type of Americans we really want to be, which aren't Americans at all. And so I'm here today to present some information to y'all because, see, Donald Trump had the nerve to celebrate Black History Month at the White House. Now, I happen to have attended one of the events at the White House many years ago when he first launched the First Step Act. So one of these people in this video I actually saw for the very first time there. And that was, of course, about 9 years ago, something like that. And, I'd heard all these rumors. I heard all these rumors about Donald Trump was a bona fide racist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, you walk into the White House. I was expecting maybe to be, kidnapped and put on a boat and ship back to, maybe Africa or something like that, perhaps. I'm not sure. That was the word on the street. But instead, we were all welcomed. In fact, when I went in there, it was about 2,000 brothers and sisters. And when I say that, I'm not talking about famous folks that, you bring there so you can get a photo shoot. I'm talking about everyday brothers and sisters that just work hard. And I'm going, how'd you get here? I don't know. I was down the street. They said, you want to come? I was like, yeah, shoot, I'll come. It was amazing. Amazing. They fed us. They treated us wonderfully. Donald Trump wanted to kick it with the folks. Secret Service had to drag him back from the thing. He was out there signing autographs, all in the credit. Sir, we need you to move back. Could you step back behind him? Don't worry about it. They're my people. And then when they snuck him off through this back door, we all go out in this, lounge area. He sneaks back in to kick it. Sneaks back in to kick it with us. Now I'm thinking, why is this white supremacist? Why is this white nationalist wanting to be around all these black folks? Why do he want to hang all amongst us? And you would think we'd give him the willies. Not to mention the folks that he brought up on stage that was recipients of that First Step Act was hugging and kissing him. I would have thought that he would have busted out spray, told him, don't get too close. I don't want to get that blackness on me. But instead, he embraced them. And so I thought that day that, wow, this is going to be great because they've been saying Trump is a full-blown racist. And I'm saying the media is going to eat this up. Finally, We're getting some footage that conflicts with the narrative that the fake news is putting out there about Trump. Wait until CNN shows this tonight. Wait until MSNBC drop this footage out there. And guess what? I went back to my hotel, turned on CNN, MSNBC, and guess what I found? Crickets. In fact, Donald Trump is a racist. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that is what they've been doing ever since. So with moments like we're about to see, it really makes it hard for them to say that, well, regardless of what he just did or what he said or how these people feel about him, he's still a racist. And that is so insulting to all of the minorities that voted for him. It's insulting because, one, it attacks our common sense, our ability to judge a person's character. Like, we're all stupid enough to say we're overlooking blatant, obvious racism and we're going to vote for him. That's what we're going to do. We're not Democrat voters. We're not Democrat voters. We don't overlook racism like, Joe Biden was dropping out there. We don't overlook that stuff. And we're able to recognize it for what it is, if it is. See, and so it's an insult. It's making everybody think that, wait a minute. So how does that fit with all of the minorities that voted for Trump? Are they all overlooking racism? Are they all just, the Uncle Toms and stuff? And then the second part about it is, it attacks our common sense and our morality. See, when they say, how could you support a racist? And I'm going, but he's not a racist. And you're talking to me as if I'm aware that he's a racist. He's obviously a racist, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I'm saying, well, I like the good parts about what he's doing with the economy, but he's, with the racism stuff, hey, it is what it is. And that's not the case. And the media can't afford to risk that narrative because that's the main narrative they're going with. They've been hanging on to that one for a long time. That was the number one stunner. They came out the blocks with racism. That night after I watched Donald Trump come down that escalator and gave that speech, and I went to my phone because I didn't know that there was fake news at the time. So I pull up my CNN app and I'm like, okay, let's see what the CNN got to say. And Don Lemon, big old bold words, Donald Trump calls all Mexicans drug dealers, rapists, and murderers. And I said, what? Wait a minute. I saw that on the live. He didn't say that. That's not what he was saying. And I realized from that point on, they got an agenda. So now, here we are, back again, Black History Month. Let's see what took place here. Okay, and action. Oh, this was a good one.
Oh. Nearly 10,000 African Americans fought for the patriot cause in the Revolutionary War. Did you know that? 10,000, and it's actually a number, I've heard higher than that, helping secure our independence in every generation since, from the Buffalo Soldiers to Tuskegee Airmen.
What? Buffalo Soldier. Yeah, from the Buffalo Soldiers. Now, you know where they got that from, y'all. They called them the Buffalo Soldiers because they was out there with those afros. Hair like wool, baby. Buffalo Soldier. Couldn't get a comb through that mess if you wanted to. Oh, yeah, when you got that old school slave hair, ain't nothing going through that. Yeah, I remember I started off with that, and my mama took a hot comb to it. Hot comb, see, that was back in the day. She went there, threw that hot comb on that stove, and went to work on it. Yeah, man, permed it out with no chemicals. Used that heat, baby. I was out there, with straight hair. So now, the Buffalo Soldiers, Tuskegee Airmen, let's see.
Black Americans have stepped forward to defend the flag and to defend our country. Like few others. And you've never really been given the recognition that you should get for that. You know that, Ben? I don't think a lot of people have given the kind of recognition, but everyone knows all about the Tuskegee Airmen. They were great and amazing. The Buffalo Soldiers. Do you know the Buffalo Soldiers? Yeah. Good stuff, right?
Good stuff, right?
From jazz to the blues. That you do get recognition for.
Yes, we do. Yeah, do. Yeah, the blues, baby. Came home last night. Do. All of that mess. But yeah, our music has contributed some wonderful things to society. Oh man, I tell you, look back at some of those early black artists during the 60s and 70s, and it would be funny, man, because they would go on the Ed Sullivan show, and it'd be all white people on the show, dancing, jamming to it. We didn't get no black folks dancing on TV until the Soul Train came out. Don Cornelius, baby. Yes, you must be very, very excited for your success. Today we got a young new artist named Prince coming to the stage. Yeah, those were good days, man. And man, the Asian lady with the long hair. We had the one guy to come out and just poses. Watch Soul Train every night. So now here we go. What else?
Jazz, the blues, from rock and roll to rap. Black artists like Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters. How about Nicki Minaj? Do we love Nicki?
Yeah, okay. Nicki's in the fight now, y'all. She's in the mix. Oh, now here's a trivia question. Here's a trivia question for all of you watching my show. What person was credited for releasing the first rap song on the radio? Come on now. Let's see. Somebody said, do I have a P.O. box? Yes. Oh, you know what? No, I don't. However, whoever just sent me that, if you want to send something to me, email me. My email is right underneath the description. Email me and just say, hey, this is who I am. And then I'll give you the address to send it to. I trust my viewers. Now, Blondie, thank you. Somebody got it, man. If I had a prize, if you were right here, I'd give you the prize. It was Blondie. She didn't even know it was rap. She didn't know it was rap. She was out there singing, man from Mars, he was eating cars and all of that stuff. Yeah, and then later on, I said a hip hop, a hibbity hop. Yeah, Then they came out. But when they, went back to see what category that song fell in, Blondie's song fell into the rap category because of the end of it, where she was talking about man from Mars, he was eating cars, and she got credited for the first rap song released on the radio. How do you like that? A white lady from another country, I think, got the first rap song. But nonetheless, we took it and ran with it after that. Yeah, man. And we went through all of the history of rap when it was horrible. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king on the microphone, like Dr. J and Moses belong. Ha ha ha. Stuff like that. Fat Boys, and then LL changed the game. LL Cool J is hard as burn. Yeah, buddy, we was like, ooh. But then my boy came later on and stepped it up even more. Rakim. Doo-doo. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many meat shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. And then it all went right down the drain after that. When you know who came out. After police coming straight from the underground. A young brother got it back. I'm like, uh-oh, it's going off the rails. But we did have a nice little run. Yeah, we had the most angry folks in the world come out. And you know who that is. Chuck D. Back. Cause you're looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Check out this. I bring my rumba level cause I'm living low next to the bass. Come on, turn up the radio. That man was mad all the time. A cell is hell. I'm a rebel, so I'll rebel. Between bars, got me thinking like an animal. I'm like, Chuck, calm down, man. Easy, buddy. You're gonna bust a juggler. But nonetheless, rap, all that good old R&B, woo, was good. Let's continue, though.
I love Nicki Minaj. She was here a couple of weeks ago. She's so beautiful. Her skin's so beautiful. I said, Nicki is so beautiful. Her nails are like that long. I said, Nicki, are they real? She said, she didn't want to get into that. But
somebody brought up Run DMC. My Adidas walked through closet doors and stepped all over Coliseum floors. Stepped on stage, at Live Aid, all the people gave, and the poor got paid. My Adidas, ha! There it is, baby. Oh, yeah. So, those were good days. All right, now, let's continue. Here we go. Because now he's talking about Nicki Minaj.
So beautiful and so great. And she gets it. More importantly, frankly, she gets it. Yeah. But black leaders from Frederick Douglass to Martin Luther King, right? Little relative over here. I want to begin.
Well, now look at that. Martin Luther King's relatives support Trump. And it's amazing because, see, down through all the years of them accusing Trump of being a racist, they never bring that up. I mean, they love Martin Luther King. You would think they would at least respect one of his niece that supports Donald Trump. You would think that they would respect all of the prominent black folks that are extremely intelligent, that would not make a stupid decision of supporting a racist, okay? You would think they would respect that, but nope. They get up there and call Trump a racist as if they are not even acknowledging the black folks that voted for him or support him. Yeah, they pretend that, wait a minute, we're going to say this to our dummies because our dummies are going to assume that maybe 3, 4 black folks voted for him. So it's not enough of them to go ahead and acknowledge that, okay? Not enough of them to cause us to second guess our accusations of Trump being a racist. Only ones that did it was probably the dumb ones, stuff like that. But let's continue celebrating Black History Month at the White House with Trump.
By expressing our sadness at the passing of a person who I knew very well.
Who?
Jesse was a piece of work.
No, Jesse was a piece of work. Yeah, he was a piece of a lot of stuff, okay? Now, Trump is going to do something that is, I would say, very honorable. He's going to acknowledge Jesse Jackson. He had a relationship with Jesse Jackson in the past, and he's going to be very cordial. He also probably is aware that many millions of black folks wasn't able to see as life went on the Jesse Jackson. Because see, I'm going to say it. I can say it. You know, it has nothing to do with, wishing evil on him. Jesse Jackson was a race hustler. That's what he is. I mean, he was a race hustler. Might have started off with good intentions with, Martin Luther King back in the day. But then I think he got wind that, wait a minute, I can start making money off of this. I have a dream stuff and all of that. And he became a race hustler. Not to mention that he was, I would say, a weak man because he never found the strength to come out and defend Donald Trump, knowing that Donald Trump was not a racist. Anybody who knows that they're black, but they're famous, or, they rely on the left woke folks for their support. Any of them that are willing to not defend Trump, whether it be, I'm just going to be quiet and I'm going to let everybody think that I think the same thing, that he's a racist. I mean, they're weak. They don't have courage, and I think Jesse Jackson had no courage because he knew that Trump was not a racist, but he never came out and said anything. But Trump still honored him during this little speech right here.
He was a good man. He was a real hero. I just want to pay my highest respects to Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, he was a hero to some and a zero to some too. And like I said, back in my pro-black days, when it was power to the people, I'd have thought any black person out there talking about racism and how black folks were being treated was great. But you get a little older, and if you're smart enough, you'll start to realize it's a racket. It's a racket. There it is. I mean, how long are you going to hang on to the racism grift? And this is a racket that our mainstream media has picked up on. Yeah, they've learned from the race baiters. I mean, we got white race baiters now. I mean, it don't matter. You don't even got to be black. You just got to be liberal. See, if you're on the left, you can do some race baiting, baby. Yeah, and exclude yourself, regardless of you being white. You got a temporary pass to be a race baiter if you're on the left. So let's continue, though.
As you got to know him, you got better and better all the time. A lot of people, you get to know them, they get worse and worse. Jesse got better and better. But I knew him long before becoming president, and he really was special with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. You would say Jesse had serious street smarts, right? Yeah. Very important ingredient to life, I will tell you. He was gregarious and someone who truly loved people, and a force of nature. He was somebody that we're going to greatly miss. And on behalf of everyone here today, I know you join me in sending our condolences to the entire family.
Now, see, I wonder if they're going to give Trump credit for acknowledging that. Because, see, they went crazy when he just straight went in on Meathead. I forget his real name. But when he died, and Trump said, I'm going to acknowledge his death, but I'm also acknowledge that dude was horrible. So they was mad about that. So Trump acknowledges Jesse. He didn't have to do that. But I think when it comes down to Trump, Trump really has a big heart. He has a big heart. And I think Trump values friendships, relationships. And there's been time, Rob Reiner, thank you. There's been times where Trump has overlooked some stuff that I'm saying, boy, if that was me, I probably would have dropped the hammer on him. Just like the other day when he was talking about how stupid AOC was, but he was talking about how smart Hillary Clinton is. Now, she's evil, but he acknowledged the fact that, she's smart. She's a crafty, evil, wicked, stinking politician. But they'll never acknowledge anything good about Trump ever. But Trump goes back, and I'm sure he's drawing from his rich history and past with Jesse Jackson when he says this, because he probably don't have much to say about the current Jesse Jackson after he ran against the Democrats and won, and all of Jesse Jackson's homies turned on Trump. I'm pretty sure he ain't got many memories of their relationship after that. Just like many folks who love Trump. And when he ran against the Democrats, turned on him. And all of a sudden now, Trump's a racist.
So Jesse Jackson has passed away, and President Trump wrote a lengthy message giving his thoughts on the passing of Jesse Jackson. Now, some people are criticizing President Trump by saying, okay, Jesse has passed. Why does President Trump need to take this moment to talk about all the things that he's done? Well, maybe it's because so many people keep pretending that it never happened.
Bam! And you know what? I'm shocked that Trump doesn't talk about all the other stuff he's done for black people down through the history. All the time that they were calling him racist many years ago, I was saying, Trump, why don't you come out and share this story? He didn't come out and make an announcement about Jennifer Hudson. He didn't come out and make an announcement about the lady that was living in one of his apartments, and he was, saying, hey, send her food and flowers and stuff like that. He didn't come out and say that. He didn't say, hey, look, I'm not a racist. Do you understand all the stuff I've done for and with black people? He didn't do that. He just come out and he defends his position. He rebuts what they say about him. I'm not a racist, this and that. But he don't need to wear it on his sleeve. See, Democrats do that, though. Democrats do that. And they're the ones that got to do that. Joe Biden, grew up in a black church. Was raised by the Puerto Ricans. And then, Nelson Mandela. Democrats got to do that. Democrats got a code switch. It ain't nothing wrong with being a bartender. Yeah, they're the ones that got to do that. Trump don't have to do that. He don't have to try to oversell his connection and relationship with black folks like Democrats do. Hillary Clinton, eyes don't, feels in no ways are tired. Now, black folks should be able to catch that and be offended by it. But unfortunately, they would rather the fake people than the genuine person like Trump, who's just going to judge you based on your character or what you said, what you didn't say, what you did, all that stuff. So let's continue, though.
So many people are acting as if they have amnesia.
Yeah.
And God rest his soul, but publicly, Jesse did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm glad she's saying it. See, Trump was nice about it. Well, this lady right here is keeping it real.
Was one of the issues that I always had.
Dawn.
Was that he sat back and he allowed President Trump to be slandered and called a racist.
Yeah.
I don't recall him ever coming out publicly and defending Trump. Regardless of the fact that many of us who know and know about President Trump's support of the Rainbow Coalition, President Trump's support of Jesse Jackson's run to be the first black president. That
raggedy run? You mean to tell me Trump, he supported that raggedy run financially? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But you know what? The fake news are not interested in disproving Trump being a racist. They don't want to go back in the past and pull that up. They'd rather go back and talk about the apartments that he didn't rent out to people and all that stuff, and the Central Park and all that. They want to go back then. They don't want to go back and talk about all of these things that would disprove that Trump is not a racist. But that's not they exclude that information. So it's up to us to go and dig this stuff up, to remind people of, to give examples to all the dummies who aren't aware that literally they came out and changed your mind. How weak-minded can a person be to say, you know what? I used to love Donald Trump. I used to just sit back and bust rhymes about Trump. Saw him at all the boxing, matches. Saw him hanging out with the black folks. But now all of a sudden, for some reason, I've changed my mind. I now see him as a racist. What happened? They're not able to see that they were coached into hating him, calling him a racist. They were brainwashed into it. I mean, when you go from saying, I like this person to I don't like this person, but you're not able to see the subtle shift, the subtle persuasion towards changing your mind, how weak-minded can you be? It would have to take me, like my boy Rob or Clinton. I don't care what somebody said about them. I'm saying, I know this guy personally. This is my boy. When I decided to support Trump and folks in Youngstown got wind of it, Trump, my boy Clinton, he was downtown and a couple black people came in. Hey, man, what's up with Kev, man? What's up with your boy, man? Is he okay? They was concerned. I heard he's supporting Trump. And my boy Clinton was like, yeah, that's how Kev is, man. He is going to do what he wants to do. He going to make up his mind. That's my boy. That was it. That's all they got. They didn't get man, I don't know what's going on with him. Because Clinton knows me. He's not going to be persuaded by that stupid stuff. He knows I'm not a sellout and all of that mess. So anybody who was victim of that, that persuasion is weak-minded. That's all. And she's calling it out.
And his continued support of him throughout the years.
Yeah.
I felt the same way when Jennifer Hudson, many people commented on her uncomfortable posture at the Grammys when Trevor Noah was making fun of Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump. Yeah, because Jennifer is well aware that President Trump is not racist and that he assisted her and her family.
Yeah.
That he was good to her.
Yeah.
When he didn't have to be.
Absolutely. And see, the crazy part is all of this stuff that Trump was doing for black people, he never even touted it. Can you imagine a Democrat doing something, just one thing for a black person, where it seems like it's a sacrifice of, time or a sacrifice of money? First of all, you would know the only reason they did that is for a photo op. It wouldn't be sincere. If they're down there, feeding the homeless, they're down there because they're going, you see what I've done? I fed the homeless. You know what? I actually went and visited this black person that was it. Everything they do is for their own glory, for their own power, and for propaganda and manipulation. That's it, for votes. Yeah, they do that stuff. And I say, you know what? I bet you as soon as those cameras cut off, get out of here. I'm getting these peasants. So they would tout all of the stuff that they did with or for black people for political gain. In fact, they'll make up stuff like Joe Biden. They'll make up stuff because most of the time when you hear about all of their black interaction in the past, it's fabricated. It's fabricated. And Trump could have easily came out on the campaign trail and said, guess what I did? Black people love me. I'm in all their raps. I supported this and that. It took black folks that stood by Trump to come out and tell people what he did for them. That's the crazy part about it. When they questioned Mike Tyson, he was like, you know what? I'll never forsake Donald Trump. He was the only one there for me when I was in prison. Everybody else, they turned their back on me. But Donald Trump, he never turned his back on me, so I won't turn my back on him. And I didn't even know that. Trump, why did you come out and say, hey, how you going to call me a racist? I was the one supporting Mike Tyson. He didn't do that. See? So he never came out and touted, how y'all like my Mike Tyson? I don't want to run into Mike. I saw you on TV making fun of me. I'm like, Mike, it was jokes. It was just jokes, man. Bring it in. Bring it in. Oh, wait, man, I'm scared. You're like a wild, uncaged animal. Don't know what you're capable of doing. Let's continue.
There are many, many black Americans who know very well that President Trump has been supporting people, not because they're black, but just because this is just what he's been doing.
Yeah, tell him, sister.
We've known this since the 80s.
Yeah.
And so Jesse Jackson, yes, he passed away. President Trump sent his condolences. He still said something nice about him. He still maintained, their friendship. But it's interesting because the critique that people are giving President Trump is to say, oh, well, why is he taking this moment to talk about all the things he's did? Because it's righteous anger.
Yeah.
It's like he has to give condolences to Jesse Jackson. But yeah, you guys keep acting as if he did not do a lot for Jesse.
Bam. Not only for Jesse, but for many black folks. My opinion, he done more for black folks than dang on Obama did. He ain't do nothing for black folks. He ain't passed no legislation to help brothers. But he did. He did definitely support the LGBT community, his own community. See, he supported his own community.
And he has. And not because he needed to, because it made him money. No, just because he helped.
Yeah.
And he did it for free.
For free. That lets you know it's in the heart. It's in the bone. You ever see Democrats do that? I mean, they spend everybody else's money. They definitely take all the donations. And if it looks like they're dishing out money, it's not coming out of their pockets. It's not coming out of their pockets. It's going to come out of your pockets. They'll give away all our money to everybody and say, look at us. We're humanitarians, or we're supporting this, or we're supporting that. But don't raise my taxes. Don't take money out of my paycheck. When's the last Democrat you saw didn't take a salary in the White House, or any president? Trump's like, I don't need the money. I don't need the money. But yet, you still got idiots out here thinking he's doing all of this because he just wants to be a dictator like Putin. He's going through all this hell, all this grief, all these attacks, all these lies, all these attempts on his life because he just wants to be a dictator in his old age. Yeah. He's not doing it because he loves the country. Who would go through all of this for free? A person who loves the country, somebody who loves doing what they're doing. Try removing a salary from a Democrat and see what happens. Well, I'm not coming to work, okay?
When he offered space at 40 Wall Street for the Rainbow Coalition and created jobs and rightfully praised the fact that these opportunities were going to go to blacks and minorities, and that he was proud of it.
Yeah.
Way before he ever even thought about or had any desire to be president. Why? Because he was asked about running for president many times. Even your beloved Oprah Winfrey suggested it to him. Yeah.
And he even said that if he did, he would have had Oprah Winfrey be his vice president, a black woman. Ew. Ew. And they all clapped. Opie Winfrey was loved him until he came out and said, I'm running as a Republican. Isn't that odd? Joey Behar, all of them, Whoopi Goldberg, she was performing at his clubs and stuff. They all loved him. He came on The View back then and they were all giddy and excited. But now all of a sudden, every day they spend the whole day talking about he's a racist, he's a dictator, he's all of these things. Isn't that strange how they have turned on him? Now, see, this is what being informed and being an intelligent black person is. See, you disarm them based on how informed you are. Yeah, when you run across the dodo birds who only can remember Trump from the time he ran against the Democrats, like the rest of his history means nothing. You don't need to add any of that into the factor. You don't need to do that. Yeah, I just learned about Donald Trump when he ran against Hillary. That was the first thing I ever heard about Donald Trump. And everything I heard was he's a racist. And then you get people like this that say, really? Okay, so what about all of the evidence that is contradicting the narrative that he's a racist? How do you explain that? How do you explain him what? Being a part-time racist on the weekends, and then during the week, you know what? It doesn't make sense. But see, you can't make sense out of nonsense. Let's continue.
Back when everyone loved him.
Loved him.
Before he said he was running as a Republican against their party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that'll do it. In fact, that is the model that the whole left follows. That's the strategy. We love everybody until they turn on us. We love all of the black folks. What? Ben Carson is a conservative. Ugh, he's a sellout. Yeah, we love him. We love him. We love Nicki Minaj. What? She's supporting Trump, man. She's a sellout. Yeah. Black folks that are intelligent enough to see the game and they say, wait, I'm waking up, man. I'm walking away from that party. Immediately, they lose all of their black card. They lose all of their infinity stones of wokeness. They don't even acknowledge, the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. They don't even acknowledge his blackness. Nah, but Ketanji John Jackson, they don't know what a woman is. They love it. They lead black first, woman first, all of that. She's the first black female to Supreme Court judge. But you never talk about Clarence Thomas. His blackness means nothing to y'all. If you're gay and you turn on the Democrats, no, you're no longer part of the LGBT community. We're no longer going to be going out there. This is their motto. We keep everybody on this plantation. And soon as one deviate, boom, we reveal how we really feel about you.
So, and what did he say? No, he doesn't want to run as president. And he was still doing all of this. And so I don't know. That message, I don't have a problem with Trump's message. I don't have a problem with him highlighting the things that he's done with Jesse Jackson over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he probably took the position of, I understand Jesse would have been ostracized from the black community.
Bam!
The left would have taken Jesse down if he went against what they wanted, against their propaganda. It's the reason why Jennifer Hudson, it's the reason why Jesse Jackson, it's the reason why so many black people don't stand up and say the man is not racist.
Bam! I love her. I don't know who she is, but she's great. And she's keeping it real. Now, I'm sure she's going to take some heat. She's going to take some heat. And that is the truth. See, all of these black folks who loved Trump back in the day, knows he's not a racist, they got too much to lose because most of them either are aligned with the Democrat Party and all their supporters, or they're quiet because they know that, wait a minute, if I'm quiet, most folks on the left will assume that I'm okay with this. It's kind of like how white liberals assume me being black got to be a Democrat. Hey, buddy, I'm just going to let you know I'm with you. I'm with you guys. I stand in solidarity with you. Really? Yeah, you're like my brother, but not. And I'm going, I am not your dang brother. Okay? I mean, we understand your people and the plight that you've gone through. Can you understand? I mean, this is crazy what's going on. What's going on? I mean, the nerve of Trump. And I'm going, what about the nerve of Trump? I love him. He's great. What? They're always shocked. They just come right in thinking that you got to be on board with our radical hatred and stuff for Trump. And they're blown away when you say, I support Trump.
Because they don't want to get canceled by the left. Mm-hmm. They don't want to lose their money.
Yep.
They don't want to lose their opportunity.
Bam.
Mike Tyson, Nicki Minaj, and a couple others are the only ones that said, you guys can't cancel me. I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend the guy is racist when he's not, just because you have a political agenda. I'm going to support him. He's been my friend. Shout out to Mike Tyson for, having integrity and loyalty.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. I don't have a problem with Trump's message. Yeah, I think I'd be a little irritated too.
Me too.
If I've been around a certain group of people for a very long time as friends, and the moment I get into politics, the smear campaign comes and barely anybody stands up to defend me.
Yeah. See, because they're weak. That's what it is. They're weak. They're worried about being canceled. I embrace it. YouTube been trying to cancel me forever, and I'm here all the time. I keep coming back for more. So that's really a testament to your character. When you sit back and say, okay, I'm willing to take the heat. Whenever you step out of, what the masses feel, and you say, I'm about to swim upstream. I'm about to swim against the current. You already know the heat's coming. The heat is on. So that is why when I hear liberals or black liberals especially say, you know what, black men and black women who support Trump, they're just ignorant. They just don't know. And I'm going, actually, we're the most informed black folks, in America. Okay, we're the ones that know what we're talking about because we can't afford to be ignorant dealing with you ignorant folks. Yeah, we can't come out there with the stuff y'all sling out, nothing but feelings, accusations, name calling, hyperbole, attitude, while we just nestle in and drop nothing but facts, history, reason all over y'all. Then you get mad and call us a name and walk away because you can't handle the truth. But let's continue listening to this smart black lady.
Because they don't want to lose their endorsements or their money.
I now want to bring forth a friend who opened this Wall Street project, and we talked about it. He gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too.
Reaching out and being inclusive? You mean to tell me the white supremacists in the White House was reaching out and being inclusive? What is this? It just got to be AI. Got to be AI. They're not talking about Trump, are they? Why don't CNN ever play these clips? Why don't MSNBC ever play these clips? Interesting. So he was inclusive back then. He was suppressing all that racism deep down into his feet, just waiting for the right moment when he wins the presidency to just release it all. There you go. Just like he was a Russian agent for all those years, secret Russian agent, until it was time to go ahead and be like, okay, Putin, I'm ready to release. Unbelievable, man. It's crazy how they can convince dummies to believe this stuff. It's unbelievable.
And credit for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to rest to make things better. Who's an effective builder of building the builder people. Last year he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
What? Underserved communities? Wait a minute. Wait. Why is Trump taking time out of his schedule to mingle with these black folks and try to help them get jobs and all of that stuff? Why? Why is he doing all of this? Remember, this is the same guy that they spend tons of time calling a neo-Nazi, a white supremacist, all of this stuff, Hitler. Let's go ahead and see what Trump had to say. I'm sure he'd get up there and he's going to call all these black people stupid and tell them they all need to go back to Africa.
Well, it is an honor to be here, and I was with Jesse last year, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a little different. Jesse started off by saying, most of the wealth in this country is in the hands of a few. And I thought to myself, is that a bad thing?
Still Trump.
What's wrong with that, Jesse? And he said, listen, I want some office space in your building on Wall Street.
And you said, heck no. Man, I would never let a black person have office space in my building, one of my best buildings on Wall Street. Man, you kidding me? It'll bring down the property value. Yeah, it'll have Jerry curl juice all on the rugs and stuff and the carpets and stuff like that. Yeah, you'll have a fan in the window, no screen on the door, just the door frame. We don't want that. Loud music, smelling like chicken is being fried every day, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what he's about to tell Jesse.
Because the wall on wall will fall. And I said, it's okay, Jesse, I'll make a good deal with you. I'll get you some space. You'll pay about $40 a foot. And he said, no. I don't want to pay 40. I said, how about 30? No. It was the cheapest deal I ever made in the history of 40 Wall Street. Is that right? He got it for nothing.
Nothing?
He's a very tough negotiator. You know that, right?
Wow. I mean, maybe these are the hidden archives. Maybe CNN and all of them couldn't find this. Maybe MSNBC couldn't find these. These are hidden treasures. Maybe these are clips only conservatives can see. Maybe these are clips only conservatives can see. Isn't this odd? Boy, if you play this clip to some of the more radical folks that claim they hate Trump, they will still figure a way to try to justify their hatred and their stupidity. Well, so what? That was a long time ago. He waited until he was older to become racist.
He's a terrific guy. We love him, and I'm here for him. And I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it.
The Trump? Black and minorities building stuff? You got them working for you? Ooh. Man, I bet you they come in late, leave early, be smoking weed on their break. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to be doing, Trump. You don't want those brothers on the set tearing up stuff, stealing the equipment, taking it home and using it. I'm sure that's what you're thinking, right, Trump? But instead, no. Look at all these people.
Close to 25%.
45% minorities working on his projects. That's pretty racist. That's pretty darn racist.
I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York.
Don't be complimenting these black folks about being builders and doing great jobs. You're supposed to be insulting them. Yeah, you're supposed to be out there. Black folks are lazy. They don't know what they're doing. They don't pay attention. They're cussing and fighting on the job. I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to be saying, according to all of the fake news and these folks that's been calling you racist.
Big percentage of that is black and minority folks.
Is Trump a racist?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What?
I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing.
And Trump said, get out my face, you black person. Yeah, well, I won't give you no money. You'll probably spend it on drugs or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said, right?
They could. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump.
What?
So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump.
No, Joe? Oh, no, Joe. Oh, no, you didn't. Somebody take this footage right now to all the Democrats and show them. Somebody take this footage right now to MS, and maybe y'all couldn't find this. Did y'all ever see this clip right here? Can we upload this to y'all don't want to talk about that? Y'all want to talk about how Trump's a racist and he put up a meme with Obama and them as a monkey and stuff like that. That's what you want to talk about? Yeah, you don't want to talk about the stuff that would exonerate Trump from this narrative.
He gave him a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check.
And he said if they didn't come, he was going to break their legs and send them back to Africa. That's what he said, Joe?
They had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" And yeah. And then toward it.
He said, double it? That's what he said. This what you supposed to pay me? Nah, there's a black tax. That's what he said. He said, you forgot about the black tax. The rest of the white folks, when I give them loans, I only charge them like 2% because you're black. You get taxed. You didn't know that? You didn't know you get a black tax? That's what he said to him, right, Joe?
This our agreement? And yeah. And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
Holy moly. So wait, all of these black entrepreneurs couldn't get loans from these white institutions. So they go to the white supremacist Donald Trump. He gives them a loan. And when they come back to pay it back, he rips up the note and says, now go run your business. That's enough to shout over. If I was in church and that happened, we'd all be shouting and dancing. Yeah, the Lord laid it on his heart to rip up that loan, and now I'm loan free.
And this was when? This was back in the 90s.
Huh.
Most people don't even know this. He had a sister. He was, every time you saw him back in the 90s, fine paper bag, brown, beautiful black Maga.
Wait a minute. Now, I'm okay with the loans and stuff, but now you're telling me that he's knocking boots? Ew. With blacks? Ew. You don't want to get that black on you. Unreal. But wait, I'm sure he kept her in the closet. I'm sure she was out in the outhouse. She couldn't be in the house. She'd have to be out in the house. She was the field. All right, then Liam would say, look, after I get done making everybody pick cotton, I'm going to sneak out to the outhouse, but nobody needs to see this. I'm sure that's what was happening, right? It had to be undercover, man. But instead,
he likes fine women. He didn't have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets.
What? Stop the press. So he wasn't hiding her because of her blackness? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're telling me Trump was out in public dating a black woman, but yet he's a racist. He's a racist. Do you understand how brainwashed you have to be to have all of this available information and you allow your reason, your common sense to override all of this? He got to be the worst racist ever. Worst racist ever. You think David Duke had a fine sister on his side? Man, I mean, this stuff right here shows just how many dumb people we have in America.
So, I mean, she says he's not a racist. Yeah. He just doesn't like many people.
There it is.
Black or white.
Black or white.
And he appreciates people who do stuff within their lane.
Yeah.
Well, not stay in their lane, but where they choose to be, if they do it well, he admires them. Black, white, brown, red, yellow.
So what you're saying then is when Trump insults somebody, it's for one or two reasons. It's because either they attacked him or they're incompetent. Yeah, he's not attacking them because they're a woman or they're black or they're white. If you a dummy, you a dummy. Dumbness don't have a color. It's on the inside. It's on the inside. But when he criticizes people or he retaliates against an attack, yeah, the only way that these folks know how to respond is to say, well, you're doing it because you're racist. And they do that across the board. They do that to conservatives because that's their style. Dummies don't realize that's a part of their strategy. They never defend any criticism on the merits. It's always let's attack your motive, not your substance. Hey, why are y'all bringing all these illegal immigrants across the border? Do you understand? This right here is chaotic. It's going to put a strain on the economy. You're bringing crime. You know what? The only reason you're mad is because you're racist. So you're going to overlook all of that information I just gave you, the concerns I have. So my motive for saying this is a problem, My motive for saying we can't have all these strangers walking around our country and we don't know who they are. We can't do this. My motive for that is I'm racist. And as soon as people realize that's the strategy of the Democrat, maybe they'll stop voting for them. Maybe they'll stop being emotionally manipulated by them. Maybe they'll figure out the game. The Republicans need to start beating them to the game. When a controversial topic comes up, and they're starting to discuss, how do you feel about the transgender kids being transgender? I say, you know what? I'm against it because it is crazy. These kids are, underage. It's going to damage them for life, all of this stuff. But I'm sure my opponent is going to call me a bigot and a transphobe and going to say that I want to fight against these kids living out the truth. I'm sure that's what he's going to say. Go ahead, do it. Do it. Do it right now. Do it. I know you're going to do it. That's what I would do. Then they said, oh, he disarmed me. He beat me to the, I sure enough was about to call him a transphobe, and now I got to figure out another way to slide in all of that. That's what they should start doing. Any topic, man. What? Okay, come on. What? I'm a racist? I'm sure your rebuttal for me having a problem with this is I'm a racist. Go ahead, say it. I know it's coming. Start pointing that mess out. So they sit back and say, we got to change up our strategy. Are we that transparent? Are we that obvious? Yes.
Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
2?
Wow. Whoa.
Now you see that, brother? Wow. Yeah, just like a lot of black people don't know this stuff. And obviously a lot of white liberals don't either. Wow. Look at all these brothers he's named. Oh, yeah, he all up in, even Don King. Look at that. Oh, and there's the fat version. The fat version of Al Sharpton. Yeah, see, that's when he wanted Donald Trump's attention, money, all that stuff. That's, back then.
What a racist. So that's laughable.
We now have a country that's bigger,
Okay.
better, greater than ever before. I want to thank all my secretaries and all of the people that came here. Our military leaders are here. We have a lot of people that are here, and I want to thank you all. But this is a very special group of people. So happy Black History Month.
I'm sure he doesn't mean that.
Happy Black History Year and happy Black History Century.
Yeah. Look at that. Now, let's go ahead and see how the media is covering this wonderful event. Let's just go ahead and see, because, see, Trump said nice things. We done went ahead and debunked the lies about all the racism and stuff like that. Let's see what's going on CNN.
We are listening to Ben Carson there at the White House during Black History Month as the president had some very warm words for Jesse Jackson. We are going to get in a quick break and we'll be right back.
What? Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, you're going to go for the break and come right back? So now, let's go ahead and see how the media questioned Caroline Leavitt about Trump talking about the stuff that he did for Jesse Jackson and how all of these people been saying all these hurtful things about him all these years, calling him. How would you like to be called a racist all of these years? I mean, do you understand the stuff that they have called Trump and us? But especially Trump, the stuff that they've called him are accusations that really would get you beat up on the streets. I mean, could you imagine being called a white supremacist, a racist, a xenophobe, a homophobe, a transphobe, a KKK member, a neo-Nazi, all of this stuff, and you know you're not that. Somebody calling you some of the worst things in history, and you just sit back and go, I got to sit back and turn on the channel and hear this constantly. Racist, Nazi, neo-Nazi, he's a white supremacist. Those are fighting accusations. You mean you don't just sling those out to call somebody. Either they're going to say, that's right, I sure am a racist. Come on, boy. What you going to do about it? Or they're going to be like, what did you just call me? That's what should happen. Those are the only 2 applications for that. Either they're going to own it and say, that's right, in your face. Because that's what a real white supremacist and racist and neo-Nazi would do. But let's continue, though.
Everybody was killing.
Question. Yesterday in his statement about Jesse Jackson, the president said, despite the fact that I'm falsely and consistently called a racist.
Falsely and consistently called a racist. See, yeah, Trump's aware of what they're saying. Now, you ready for the dumbest, question ever? Like as if this guy doesn't know that all of us stop watching CNN and MSNBC because we start figuring it out. You guys are propagandists. You guys are just calling Trump everything under the sun. You're calling us everything under the sun. You're attacking our values. You're attacking our common sense. You're attacking our patriotism. You're attacking our religion. You're attacking. So now we don't want to watch y'all no more because we see a repeated, behavior of you guys calling us all this stuff. And watch what this guy asks as if this is a serious question. I'm wondering, was that a serious question?
By the scoundrels and lunatics on the radical left, Democrats all, it was always my pleasure to help Jesse along the way. Where or when does the president believe he's been falsely called racist?
You see his face? He's serious. I'm thinking he's gonna be where? No, he wasn't even laughing. That man looking around like, I'm concerned. Where and when did the president feel that he was ever called? And I'm going, I'm being punked? Or am I being punked? That dude asked that question.
You're kidding, right? I will pull you plethora of examples. I'm going to get my team in that room to start going through the internet of radical Democrats throughout the years, Ed, who have accused this president falsely of being a racist. And I'm sure there's many people in this room and on network television across the country who have accused him of the same. In fact, I know that because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Me too. They act like none of this footage exists. That man asked that question seriously, and I'm going, dude, I could throw a rock and land on y'all calling Trump racist. I could just, a shot in the dark. I could just close my eyes and click on any video on the internet, and it'll probably be you guys calling Trump a racist. And it's fascinating when the left comes out and they pretend that none of this footage exists. Like, what is Trump talking about? Nobody's out there calling, just like they said, no, I don't remember anybody ever calling him a Nazi. And it was a litany of clips. Nazi. So let's go ahead and see, because this guy, obviously, he doesn't even know. In fact, I believe there's some footage of him actually referring to Trump as a racist too.
And the president very much looks forward to having a event later this afternoon at 3 p.m. to celebrate Black History Month and to talk about how his policies are advancing opportunity and prosperity for all Americans through record tax through the Trump accounts that all Americans can access regardless of race. These are a great thing for the next generation of Americans. The president has also awarded hundreds of millions of dollars in additional funding to strengthen educational outcomes at historically Black colleges and universities.
Well, look at that.
Across the country. Again, the president is protecting the hard-earned benefits of the 2.4 million Black veterans who honorably served in our nation's armed forces by reducing the Black backlog of veterans waiting for their VA benefits and for their home loans through the Department of Veterans Affairs. So there is a lot this president has done for all Americans regardless of race, and he has absolutely been falsely called and smeared as a racist, and I'm happy to provide you those receipts. And
please do, and I'll help you out. I'll start that ball rolling. Now, somebody put in the chat, like the funny part is that dude was serious. Hey, he asked that question seriously. Hey, you saw his face, like it was a gotcha. So they're like, what? Even the folks in there had to laugh. They laughed. She's like, are you serious? And they laughed like, yeah, that is kind of funny. We do be calling him a racist, though. We do. But I don't recall the president. It's funny. Hilarious.
And we gladly will right after this briefing.
And this is for anyone who may be taken aback by my comments. I want to be very clear here. I don't really care if you are.
Now, you see that? That's the black white man. And I call him the black white man because he's he's married to a white man. See? Yeah, all of this hatred and stuff, because remember, this same guy that said all white men are predisposed to being evil and violent, except my white husband. Maybe I like him violent, though. Maybe I like him smacked around by my white husband. I don't know. But this guy right here, who is so pro-black, always out there talking about white this, white that. Yeah, here he is back in the day, calling Trump what?
I hope you are. For years now, it has been 2.5 years since he officially entered the political arena. For years, I and others have been trying to tell you, the American people, that this man was exhibiting bigoted behavior.
And why didn't we listen? Because we're too smart. We see right through it. That's why. You've been telling us that and trying to convince us of the lie. And we've been seeing everything, that is contrary to the lie. That's the problem with it, Don. I mean, this was back during his first 2 years. And none of that worked. They spent 4 years brainwashing folks that Trump was a racist. He won, they cheated him, then he came back and they intensified the racism to now he's a Nazi. All of that stuff. And he still won. They said he's a 34 convicted felon and all of this. And he still won. You know why? Because we know you're lying. That's why. Why? Because you lie. So this is what he's doing right here. Doing his job as a propagandist to try to convince us that Trump's a racist. And if you voted for him, you should feel bad.
I asked him about it a number of times and he denied it, but kept up the racist rhetoric and behavior throughout the campaign and now while he's in the White House. His supporters made excuses, continue to make excuses for him.
What?
Some of them people I personally know.
No, those aren't called excuses. Those are defending him and telling the truth about it and putting things in the true context. That's different than what you talk about, defending him, belittling our intelligence. So here's Trump dropping the N-word, saying, I hate these blacks, they need to go back to Africa. And here we are. Well, we all like to trip to Africa one day. I like to see it myself one day. That's all he's saying. No, that's not what's happening. Yeah, y'all are twisting his words. We see through it and we come out and we reveal the truth. Just like when y'all said, Trump wants a bloodbath. He said if he doesn't win, it's going to be a bloodbath. And all we had to do is to say, go back a few minutes and listen to the whole clip in its true context. And then you will see what he was really saying. Oh, you're defending him. No, I'm revealing how corrupt and evil you guys are. That's what I'm doing.
Some of them are his friends, as a matter of fact, and I can hear them now telling me, oh, Donald didn't mean that. Donald isn't a racist, or just people who don't know him. I think he was taken out of context. I'm not sure. How many examples do you need of this?
No, how many examples do we need of CNN getting caught lying? That's what I want to know. How many examples do we need of CNN making up stories, falsifying stories, all of this stuff? That's why you sucked. Yeah, there are the original fake news. Yeah, Trump coined them. You are fake news. Yeah, that's what got the ball rolling with the fake news narrative.
But he is a racist.
He is.
And for all of you who over the last few years have uttered that tired, lazy, uninformed, uneducated, ignorant response of calling me and others who point out racist behavior racists, you know what you can go do? I can't say that, but you can go read a book, a history book, because you might learn that people from some of those shithole countries were slaves who were brought here by force to help build this country, and then start your learning process from there.
Start your learning process from there. You know what, Don Lemon? I'd like to see you go back to one of those S-hole countries and live there with your white husband. Yeah, take your white devil husband to Africa, okay? Where a lot of those Muslims would throw you and him off a bridge. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that, Don? Yeah? You think you'll be looked upon favorably in some of those SO rank countries? Why don't you take your millions and bounce to Haiti so they can rob you for your goods? Yeah, you're not going to do that? You're not going to do that? You and your white husband would stick out like a sore thumb. They would be like, oh, we got us 2 victims. We about to get them. And then Don Lemon would leave that S-hole ran country and come right back here to America. That's what would happen.
You also might want to do some self-examination.
Ooh.
What does it say about you that no matter what, you continue to make excuses for this man, for his vile behavior, this sort of vile behavior?
Pump your brakes, kid. So now you're questioning my integrity. So basically now I'm a white supremacist and a racist too. You see how that works? Guilty by association or guilty by your support of Donald Trump. Yeah. So that's the game they play. Yeah. So now, even if I support Trump, I don't want people thinking I'm a white supremacist. I better go vote for Hillary.
Doesn't that make you just as bad, if not worse, than him?
No, it makes me
Donald
smart.
Trump is also very old and a racist and a neo-Nazi.
Wow, that escalated fast. It went from old to racist to a neo-Nazi. Now, do you see this? I'm just going to sling out every negative thing I can say, whether it conflicts, whether it makes sense or not. I'm just going to go ahead like a little kid and think of all kind of stuff. He's fat. He's stupid. Him don't know how to read. Him is ugly, and him is just making up stuff. So now all of a sudden he's a neo-Nazi and can't explain to anybody what a neo-Nazi is. Trump is a neo-Nazi. I'm sure when he takes off his blue suit and his red tie, there's a big swastika right on his chest. Sure, he goes home to Melania like, hell, Hitler. Do you understand how slanderous these comments are and how stupid they are? So he can't just be a racist, guys. Yeah, see, that's not enough for the dummies to believe. Yeah, we want to stack that because only dummies will believe it. See, racism, they might say, hey, I don't think. Neo-Nazi? So he's a racist and a neo-Nazi. Unreal. But wait. Remember, that reporter had no idea. Give me an example of anybody calling Donald Trump a racist.
Is a thin-skinned racist bully. He has been.
And that's coming from Elizabeth Pocahontas, the one that pretended she was an Indian. My ma and my pa. That's right. They said that I got Indian in my blood because I got high cheekbones. That's right. That person.
Racist.
There has never been a president in American history.
Come on.
Who's been as so openly racist.
Racist in chief.
The president oftentimes resorts to very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic.
All of that. Keep it going. Anything. Just go in the bag. Xenophobic, homophobic, animalphobic, climate phobic. Just throw it out there. Sling it out there. Don't even think it through. Don't even say, now, how does this really apply? Is this applicable? I mean, is there evidence to support that? Nah, they don't care because their dummies don't care. They just hear, what? He's xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic. Oh, you know what? I can't support that guy.
Racist rhetoric.
President Donald Trump.
Oh, but wait a minute now. We done heard from the liars. That guy right there who asked that question, that was the evidence. But now let's hear from these wonderful black folks at the White House that's being, hosted by the white supremacists and the neo-Nazi and the xenophobe and the homophobe. And what else did they call him? The racist, KKK member, all that stuff. Now, he has all these people there. I'm sure they're going to come out and say, you know what? I'm being held by gunpoint to say nice things about Trump so we can convince folks that he's not a racist. So let's see what they got to say about him. I remember her. I was there at the White House when she first got released from prison.
Brought me from the prison pit to the White House. Only in America could there be a story like my story. And President Trump is the only president who would have had the courage to bring someone like me, someone who received a second chance, but who knows more than someone who has sit among the captives, than someone who has been in captivity themselves.
Wait, now look at that. Okay. Now she actually, I think she got a role in the White House when it comes down to coming up with lists of people who actually are getting pardoned. Now imagine going from that. Hopeless. You sitting in prison like, man, I got this long sentence. My life right now is pretty much over. It's hopeless. Even if I am truly sorry for my behavior, it won't matter. I mean, they've sentenced me. So I'm just going to, concede and say, well, I guess I won't get out until I'm about 75, maybe 80 years old. And then out of nowhere, Trump comes to your rescue. But not only that, he brings you and embraces you, brings you into his aura, and then elevates you. He supports you. He brings you all over. You now hanging with the president. Why would he do that? You would think Trump would say, you know what? Forget these black people. Leave her to rot. Okay. The more black folks in prison, because remember that First Step Act benefits 90% of black folks. You would think he'd say, you know what? The more black folks off the streets, the better. The better. But yet he's getting, this is crazy. This is going against the lie that he's a racist. Here's another one. Let's see if we can get two in a row because there's probably only one person. Probably only one black person that got something nice to say about Trump.
Business owner. I understand how critical support is.
A business owner.
I understand that you have to have the right people that make the right policies for us as small business owners.
Okay.
So no tax on tips has been a extremely blessing for me and my business.
Yeah, except for Democrat cities who don't want to honor that because they don't want people to benefit off of Trump's policies. Isn't that crazy? They're willing to hurt their own employees so they can hurt Trump.
President Trump has been an amazing blessing for me. Thank you.
Look at that. Oh, and he just went right in for a hug. Ugh, jeez, oh man, what are you doing, Trump? You can't be kissing on the blacks. But there it is. Well, where's the footage of this? Nobody's up. Where's Abby Phillips and all of them? See, why aren't they covering this?
But I've also deployed the National Guard to bring back safety to Memphis and to New Orleans and Washington.
That's important.
The National Guard has been incredible and people are safe. In the case of Washington, the restaurants were all closing up. People were getting really badly hurt and killed.
Yeah, and you know who the majority of those people that were getting badly hurt and killed? Black folks. Black folks were the brunt of all of that violence, just like in Chicago, but they don't want Trump to come in and clean that up. They'd rather just allow black folks to be killed all the time, killed all over the streets, just to make sure we don't say Trump came in and cleaned it up. So let's go ahead and continue seeing what Trump's talking about, because I'm sure he said that we brought in this National Guard to go ahead and attack all the black folks and minorities because we don't like them. We want them going in, taking these folks out their houses, putting them on boats, and shipping them back to their country.
Frankly, many people killed. And now you can walk down the street and you have nothing to fear. We have one of the safest cities in the world. What? And it happened very fast, Bruce. One of those who knows the importance of this mission is Felicia Cook, a lifelong Washingtonian who tragically lost her grandson.
Lost her grandson to black on black crime or something like that. No, wait a minute. Where are all the Democrats? They definitely would, be protecting their illegal immigrants. But the people they claim they love and want to get on board with their legal immigration scheme, the black folks, they never go and weep and wail over that. They never go and bring those moms to the White House. They never go and visit them and have crumpets and tea while the camera's on. Wait a minute. So your son was killed in the playground by a crossfire between some gangs in our SORAN cities. How do you feel about that? You know what? We want to bring. They don't do that. Yeah. I mean, even when illegal immigrants end up killing an American and they be calling their congresswomen and men, they don't. Send that to voicemail. I'm not responding to these people. I'm not going to go ahead and say, well, we're sorry to hear about what happened to your daughter because of our illegal immigration or because of our SORAN inner cities. Now, they don't want to do that. They don't want to bring attention to the handiwork. See, so now what happens? The white supremacists, the racist decides Black Lives Matter. Now, isn't that crazy? See, to the Democrats and the left, Black lives only matter when they die the right way. That means getting killed by a white cop. That's the right way to die. Now you'll become a hero. We'll build statues. And other than that, your lives don't matter. But who really matter is illegal immigration lives matter. There you go. Illegal immigrant lives matter. So now let's see what happened because I'm sure Trump sent his administration to this lady's house to say, good, one less black person on the streets.
To violence in 2017, Felicia, we're so sorry, and you are a spectacular person. If you could say a few words, please. Thank you very much.
I'm sure she's going to get up there and talk about how the Republicans don't respect black folks and they don't care about what's going on in the city, and Trump's a white supremacist. I'm sure that's what she's going to say.
Yes, come on in. Oh, yeah.
Well, there she comes.
We don't want any mistakes. Come on in.
First of all, can I have a hug?
Can I have a hug? Now, why would you want to hug the grand poobah of the KKK? Woman, don't you know what you're doing? Good grief. Now, I wonder how all the pro-black, all of the race baiters on MSNBC, CNN, and all that stuff, I wonder, seeing this scene right here, they should play this clip and ask them to respond. I would love to see Abby Phillips play this clip while she got some of the biggest race baiters on her set and say, how do you feel when you see this? I mean, are you going to call her names? Are you going to call her sellout and Auntie Tom? I mean, what are you going to say? Are you going to say Trump right now is suppressing all of that vomit because he wants to throw up from hugging her? Trust me, he don't mean it. He don't mean it. They would have to come up with some excuse to justify this scene right here. But they can't, so they just don't play it. That's what it is. We're just not going to play it. We're going to act like this never happened.
That's so nice.
That's how they feel right now. White liberals.
It can't be serious.
Yeah, that's how they all feel. If all of these crazy leftists out here that's protesting ICE and running around and Trump's a dictator and he's a socialist, I wonder if they saw these clips, what would they say? How can they still come out and say, you're hugging a fascist, black lady? This is how dumb our country has become. See, but I'm sure that's how these white liberals feel right now.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God. Good. Swallow it. Swallow it.
I like her. Please.
I like him too. One thing I like about him, he keeps it real, just like Grandma.
Woo-wee. Now, you know, you done got you a sassy grandma up here, a no-nonsense grandma. She let in with the look. Grandma keep it real. And that's why they hate Trump, because he keeps it real too. If you're dumb, he's going to call you dumb. If your country's an SO-ran country, he's going to call it an SO-ran country. How about you argue that it isn't instead of saying, that's racist? How about you say, you know what, actually, I'm not dumb, and I'm going to prove it with a well-thought-out response that doesn't include me calling you a racist or white supremacist. Yeah, I'm going to argue the merits instead of talking about something that's Jim Crow 2.0. See, but that's not their style.
I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells exactly how he feels and what he thinks.
Exactly.
Thank God for this president.
Well,
I am filled. My cup runneth over. Because he allowed his constituents, his people, to come to my house to interview me.
Why? Why?
To talk about the murder of my grandson.
What were all the Democrats? They don't care about your grandson? But if it's Killer Garcia, the Maryland man, they'll go all the way down to El Salvador to see him. I mean, she's just right in D.C. Yeah, right where they're at. They just, we're not going over there. We can't earn any political clout or points off of that right there. But we will go all the way down to El Salvador to see a criminal. That's what the Democrat Party is about. And yet they say Trump cares nothing about black people.
It seemed like nobody cared. I'm an advocate for murder. I marched. I rallied. I pulled out other families in the District of Columbia that had murders and did not have answers.
Yep. While white liberals was mad because Trump sent the National Guard in there to stop all these black folks from getting killed. I thought right now we're arguing because you know what? You know who wasn't mad? People like her. All those black folks that couldn't let their kids go outside and play, couldn't walk to school. You're scared. You're seeing kids at school and you're worried about your kid ever coming back home. Those people were the victims of all of that. And white liberals were out there. This right here, we want them done out of D.C. And dumb Democrats, what Trump is doing right now is he's doing this to intimidate people of color. No, save lives of people of color. Democrats are always talking about they love people of color and do nothing to protect them. Nothing to save their lives. They stink, but not this grandma.
Ooh.
Go on, girl.
We marched and we rallied, and nobody heard me, Democrats.
Well, look at that. Play that. Put that on the reel. We marched and we rallied. No, nobody heard us. But see, you know who they do hear? They hear all of these folks out there in the street. Get ICE out, ICE out. They hear them. Yeah, they're out there marching and rallying and stopping traffic and blocking ICE and throwing stuff at ICE. And they hear them. We're so excited about all of the people who come out to support their neighbors and stuff like that. Those foreigners, the people, just legal immigrants. But you know who they're not proud about? The real neighbors, the little black kids, the black women, black men, all of these victims in American cities, Americans. See, especially black Americans, all of them. But these people come out to march to talk about the violence and the killing and stuff, and Democrats nowhere to be found. They're probably somewhere protecting their illegal immigrants. Standing in solidarity with them.
Get mad at me. Until this Republican send his constituents, his people out there to interview me in my home. Have you ever heard of a thing?
No, especially considering he's a white supremacist and a KKK member and don't forget, what was the other one? Neo-Nazi. A neo-Nazi. That's one that they like to sprinkle on top too. He's a neo-Nazi. And he said, you know what? For this particular case, guys, let's set aside all of our neo-Nazism, all of our white supremacy and our xenophobia and our homophobia and our racism and stuff. Let's set aside that. Let's go and tend to this broken-hearted black grandmother who lost her grandson to violence. Okay, let's listen to her. You would think he would overlook such a low-level person. Democrats, see, if they can't get any political clout from you, you mean nothing to them. I mean, why would I go see her? That's only going to make us look bad. It's only going to make our cities look like the SO-ran cities that they are. I don't want to bring attention to that, but what I will do is fly my butt down to El Salvador and have tea with Killer Garcia.
Then they invited me twice before Congress to testify for the beautiful bill that's going to change crime in the district. If you kill somebody, okay, you take a life, you do life.
Woo, well, now right there, that right there is there's racism and stuff like that. Where Democrats want to let these people out into the streets, like all the illegal immigrants that they let go that ended up killing Americans. See, so you take a life, you do life. That sounds good to me.
Just that simple.
Hell yes.
If you do a harsh crime, you do harsh time.
Democrats. Well, we let him out 8 times knowing he had mental problems and all of these arrests all of his life. And now what? He set somebody on fire? What? He stabbed somebody and brought that? That's crazy. We couldn't have seen that one coming. We couldn't have seen that one coming. We were trying to rehabilitate him and show that we were woke by letting him out 8, 9 times. Unreal, man. See?
Just that simple.
Go on, mama.
And then we need National Guard, and which we did years ago.
Not according to the white liberals. You shut your mouth, black lady. Us white liberals know better. We know what's good for you and your people, okay? But look, we have white privilege. Yeah, we have white privilege. Yeah, we have it. And by the way, we know you can't vote. We know you don't know how to get to the BMV and stuff like that. And you can't do math, so we need to lower that standard, stuff like that. You know, we understand your plight, racism, and we know all of the history of your slavery that you're still suffering from. Now shut up and let us white liberals protest against Trump bringing in folks that'll save black lives.
He brought it on.
Yes. Go on, mama.
I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news, hating on me.
Woo-wee, I'm starting to feel the goosebumps. Well, get the organ out. Dun, 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 dun. The drummer. She said, don't be looking at me, hating on me, because y'all ain't been through what I've been through. See, you ain't got a dead grandson, all you white liberals. Trump's a fascist, he's a... Yeah, all you Democrats out there calling him racist. Yeah, none of y'all came to talk to me about my dead family member. Yeah, y'all too focused on chasing Trump around, calling them all kind of names. That's what y'all worried about. Y'all ain't worried about the plight of the people. So she said, shut y'all mouths, Democrats. Where we all at? And then she's going to close with this.
Because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Yes. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him.
Oh, my God.
Grandma said it.
Grandma said it. Drop the mic, Grandma. Yeah, buddy, I know they're ready to have church in there. Man, if it was an organist and a drummer in there, they'd all start shouting. See, you don't know about that. See, shouting in a black Pentecostal church, it don't mean screaming. It means dancing. Yeah, when that drummer start going, and the organist, you know what's coming. Yeah, you start shaking yourself side to side. Next you know, shoulders start going. Next yeah, man. Everybody be in there like jumping jacks, buddy. They might have messed around and had church up in that bad boy right there. Get off his back. I love the way she said, tell him Grandma. Don Lemon. Tell them, Grandma, you gonna go say something to Don? You gonna go to Grandma's house with your mic, Don? Talking about that, but you don't understand. Donald Trump's a racist. Remember that video I did back in the day when I had said that he was a racist to anybody who supports? Shut up, Don. Have you lost any people to this black on black crime? Where were you at, huh? Yeah, shut up, all of you out there. And look at Trump. Trump loving it. You see that smile? He's sitting there like, yeah. That's how I feel.
Are you crying? Oh, no, I got allergies. I'm cool. Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Wow. That's pretty good. When is she running for office? Felicia, when are you running for office, please? You have my endorsement. You have my endorsement, Felicia. Thank you, darling. That's great. What a great, and it's from the heart.
Yep.
Your little baby, right, was just so horribly taken from you.
Yep. And isn't it funny that Trump is the only one that recognizes these tragedies amongst the black community? You never hear Democrats talk about black people getting killed by black folks in their neighborhoods. You never hear them talk about that. They will talk about folks that die for their causes, like white dumb liberals who get themselves shot. They will talk about an illegal immigrant getting killed because they were attacking ICE or whatever. They'll talk about that. And definitely, if you're a black person that gets killed by a white person that they can exploit, they will talk about that. Yeah, but they will never talk about all of these cases. And you got plenty of them. They could go ahead to any one of their SO-ran cities on any given day and find a parent that have lost their child to black on black violence, and they won't even talk about it. I'm like, do y'all need some help? Maybe I can give you the list. Just hang out in Chicago for a day or two. I'm sure you have 5 or 6 examples, 5 or 6 people you can run to and say, you know what? I heard what happened to your son. But y'all don't do that. You spend your time chasing around illegal immigrants. That's what you do. Disgusting, man. So, great Black History Month. Woo-wee! That right there made my day. Even though I ain't a big celebrator of Black history, that event, made my day. Changed my whole narrative. I was going to be talking about the other stupid stuff that we hear coming out of Democrats with the whole SAVE Act. Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but then I saw all these clips, and I said, I can't pass that up. That's too rich. So let's show the clips. Yeah, buddy, have fun doing it too, and hopefully I'm gonna chop these clips up because I felt good today. I felt like I was on point, dropping some nuggets in there. Might have to chop this up and distribute it so the dummies can maybe get jogged out of their slumber. Who knows? We'll see. So thanks for hanging out with me. Somebody said, another darn good show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do. And remember, guys, it's all right off the top of the dome. Nothing rehearsed. So I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Share my videos. Hype the video. And if you like what I do and you ever get a chance to support the channel, you can do it through my Cash App, my PayPal link. Links are below. Thanks for the super chat. And the person who said that they were looking for a P.O. box, like I said, email me right now while it's fresh in my mind if you get a chance. So this way I can respond and and go that route. And then let me see what else. I think that might be it. I should be back tomorrow. I really should, Lord willing. And subscribe to my alternative channel. And we'll see you guys next time in Kevin's Corner. And I'll be looking for that grandma clip to show up on CNN or MSNBC, but I don't think it's going to happen. So God bless. Take care. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Let's go back up. You can't leave it out my hand. This is our city. We are our city. What? Yeah. Take care. God bless.